Why do we want to see it actualized here in Nigeria? Well, if you don't know the statistics, by 2050, 1 in 5 Africans will be Nigerian. In the United States, the largest diaspora is Nigerians. When Nigeria succeeds, the people of the United States succeed. And that matters. It matters to us as Americans, but it matters to the world. So, it is a great pleasure for me to be here with you today to discuss our collective dreams and to make those dreams into commitments to expand the scale, the efficiency, and the sustainability of power supply in Nigeria, while also generating reasonable and predictable returns on private investors. That is what we want to achieve, and that is why the minds of here today in this audience, as well as online, need to come together on a regular basis to actualize those dreams. We at USAID really focus on why it is important to actually have the private sector drive. Now remember, I am a development person within the government of the United States. In fact, if you want to know more about me, I'm an epidemiologist. So I come from the health space. And as a health practitioner, someone who strongly believes in health, it is a requirement that I actually focus on the skills and the abilities of doctors to do their jobs, of nurses, of community workers to do their jobs. Because when they do their jobs, it's obvious, the health of a population, of a community, of a family thrives. Well, that is also true about power. It is also true about the private sector. We need you to have that risk appetite to invest. Dreams do not happen only because they are predictable, only because you know that getting from point A to point B is short. That is not why we are here. If only we were doing what is predictable, many of the advances in our world in vaccine development, in innovations would not happen. But they happen because the dreamers are in the room. So this year's conference, Powering Nigeria, really focusing on mobilizing private capital, seeks to highlight the critical role of the power sector. It is extensive reach and profound impact as a cornerstone of Nigeria's economic development. So as we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, we must harness the full potential of this sector while also embracing the promise of renewable energy. Let me be clear that the reason why we are in Lagos matters. It is the hub of the commercial sector in Nigeria. It is also the lifeline for the rest of the country. But here we are, still in 2024, 85 million Nigerians do not have access to electricity, making it the #1 country of the world with those living without electricity. So as I mentioned, I'm the director of a development agency. When you see a child who has to just battle sickness to get to age 5, whose mother may have had a premature labor, who her life was uncertain as well. And once that child gets into school, has to battle being able to read and complete their studies because they don't have electricity. These things matter. They matter, that we ensure that you, as investors, take on that risk appetite. Odo mentioned during the panel that we not always do things for global good. But let me be clear that power, private sector, is the global good. What we are doing here today matters to countries, matters to communities, and matters to those 85 million Nigerians who do not have access to electricity. So over the past 5 years, USAID has been able to make connections and mobilize about $4.5 billion for on-grid and off-grid power in Nigeria. And we have done that with partnerships, the power of partnerships. But we know we must do more. We must work on exploring opportunities for power infrastructure beyond just the function of the national grid. The renewable energy sector is a fertile ground for innovation and entrepreneurship. When I think about the 70% of this population that's under the age of 24 with high unemployment, it is all of you in this sector, in the private sector, that will ensure and create jobs and opportunities. To be clear, investing in the power sector has not always, historically, been an easy or safe opportunity for Nigeria. But let me also be clear. The past is the past, now is now, and it is Nigeria now.